Hello from the AT. It's day 78. And I'm at mile 608 or thereabouts. And it's another gorgeous day in Virginia. Anybody who passes through this state, this part of the state on this trail, and not want to just live here for the rest of your life is just crazy. Little open space here. I wouldn't call it a meadow. I don't know what it is, just an open space, but really nice day. It's like 60 degrees, 65 degrees, sunny skies, blue skies. This is perfect weather for hiking. This is kind of like my first week down in Georgia. My first 7 days were just perfect hiking. Although back then the nights were a lot colder. So this is just perfect spring weather. And spring starts, let's see, today's Friday the 18th. So I think spring is like well, it's technically on the East Coast it's the 19th, but it's close to midnight. So the first full day of spring will be Sunday. And that means I am done with the winter. Not necessarily done with the cold weather, but as far as the calendar goes, I'm done with winter. On to the next season. And then 3 months of that, and then I'll be in the summer. And 3 months of that, and hopefully I'll be done by then. So, as you can see, I'm backpacking today, which means I've made my decision to hike and not take a zero today, which was really hard not to take a zero today. I stayed close to the shelter up there. It was near some nice water. It was quiet. Oh, I heard the barred owl last night and this morning. It's the first time I've heard the barred owl. And actually I heard the great horned owl also. So the barred owl, it's not a barn owl. The barred is B-A-R-R-E-D. It's a pretty big owl, not as big as the great horned, but it's pretty big. And it makes a very loud, distinctive call. And when there's two of them going back and forth, it kind of sounds like chimpanzees going back and forth. It's just kind of neat. This morning they got really close to the camp. That was kind of neat. I've heard them before in Tennessee. So more birds coming out, and I heard a bunch of birds I didn't recognize. I need to get some sort of book or app or something to help me identify the birds. There's definitely birds coming out. So it was a hard decision to not zero, but the deciding factor was the weather tomorrow. So it looks like it's going to rain all day tomorrow, which is hard to believe because there's hardly a cloud in the sky here. So looks like they cleared out here. I wonder what they're doing. So I am actually only from the camp. It was only 22 miles to my next hostel, where I pick up Yobo's next mail drop for 6 days. So the 22 miles, I could have stretched that. I have enough food to stretch that out for a couple more days, but because of the weather, they did take the snow out of the forecast, but it's going to be a cold rain, and it's better for me just to walk through the rain into the hostel than walk in the rain, set up my camp, sleep and do all the camp stuff, wake up and walk in the rain. It looks like a couple of days of rain, so I'm going to take advantage of walking today in the nice weather, do as much as I can today. I got a nice waterfall coming up in about 2.5 miles, so I'll take a picture of that and put it on my blog. And after that, I'm just going to walk as far as I can. and that will minimize the amount of miles I have to walk tomorrow in the rain. So the next hostel, Woods Hole, is kind of like a farm, I guess, an organic farm. So I'm kind of looking forward to this one. This is one of the favorites of all the hikers here. So they give you dinner and breakfast, not for free, of course, but it's all natural, organic. I saw smoothies on the guide, so it should be a comfortable zero. And I'm a couple of days ahead of schedule. It's a pretty cheap hostel, so I might just spend a couple of days there. So the reason why I say I'm ahead of schedule is because I got to meet Josh on the 30th. Looking forward to seeing you, Josh. Hope your leave doesn't get canceled at the last minute, because Mom is sending our food today or tomorrow. So she's sending us 5 days of food, so we'll see how far you can go in 5 days. But we'll definitely see some sights. Catawba, Virginia is a real nice place to hike, so we'll get some really nice views and some good camping. And the weather, I can't say about the weather, but no promises about the weather. It could be beautiful, it could be rainy, it could be snowy. Just never know. Hopefully it's like this. This is just perfect. So I just had some lunch. Usually I have lunch by the water, but there was a log that was across the trail, and it had a little step carved into it. Instead of cutting out the whole log, they cut a step into it. And it was just a perfect place to sit down and have some lunch. So I had some tuna fish on my tortillas for lunch today. So, on my way down this hill, there's a little road I gotta cross, and off to the waterfall, get some water. So, hey, you ball.